Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, my dear family. This is not just an exciting event, but this is also a very, I think, a very emotional event. If you look back, if you look back from where we came, uh, we started with nothing. And I think Matsu-san, you were there when we took a decision to start TDPS together. And, at that point of time, we had just ideas and just dreams and just a vision to do something. But putting it all together against all the odds was a real challenge for us. But today we're 25 years old. The company is now like it's a living entity. So it's a 25-year-old young adult, it's a young person, full of energy. You can see it over here today. It's comprised of people who are just doing wonderful things in this organization, breaking all barriers, breaking all records, and we're just moving towards the future at this breakneck speed. But this entity, this 25-year-old entity at one point of time was a little baby. It was also born on April 16, 1999. And at that time, when this baby was born, there were many of you who are here in this room, and I'm going to name them all, who were vital to ensure that this baby would actually survive, because there were so many forces that we had to fight against. When I started this company with Matsu-san, we needed to get loans. We needed to get bank loans. We needed to raise money. And at that point of time, the only option that we had was to put an apartment that Lavanya and me owned as a guarantee for the bank. And, the first person I want to thank is Lavanya, because if it wasn't for that loan, if it wasn't for that money that we got from the bank, TDPS would not have happened. And there was nobody else who was willing to put that guarantee, because no one knew what was going to happen to this company. We had a daughter who was 1 year and 3 months old when the company was formed in April. We had little or no money, and we just went ahead with this. And when I look back at the kind of risk that we took, we put everything on the table, and if it didn't work, I don't know where we would have been, but if it didn't work, it would have, anyway, I don't want to think about that. We are here today, 25 years later. So the first person I want to thank is Lavanya. I think from that moment, all the way, along every step along the way, she's been a great support to me. The second person, Mohib, you have been the financial brain of the company. And right from the initial days, you played this role of being the financial brain, but you also played the role of being a protector, because you protected the company from people who wanted to kill it. And many people know exactly what I mean. And it's so funny, but 25 years later, you're still the financial brain, and you're still protecting this company from people who want to destroy it. So, thank you, Mohib. I also want to thank my younger brother, Vivek, because many people don't know this, but I didn't have much money. He gave me actually, the first amount of capital that I invested in TDPS. And if it wasn't for that, TDPS would not have happened. So, and then there were 18 or 20 people from KEC, and Vinay came from Stanford. Prabhakar, Manju, Chandira, Prabhamani, Varna, Vinay, Varalakshmi, Ravi Shankar, Raghav Rao, Ramesh NS, Krishnamurthy TR, Vasu, Mujahid, Rajkumar, Jagdish, Prakash Mirajkar. I mean, you guys, Nambi, you guys left KEC. We didn't have anything. If you look at the factory, if you look at, we were just a piece of land, we just had ideas, we just had dreams. But you left KEC, you had stable jobs over there, and you came and you joined me. And when we all worked for the first 10 years, I think we worked with nothing, right? And we did everything. It was working day and night, working on weekends, working. There was no question of whether he was responsible for that or I was responsible for this. Everyone did everything. Miyanishi-san came from Japan. He was also key. I can't believe he just left his life in Japan and stayed in an apartment here in Bangalore and stayed with us. And if it wasn't for him and his help in providing us the technology and showing us how to make the machines, how to do the influence of Miyanishi-san and the Japanese influence, you can say, on our factory. Even today, when people come to our plant, they say that they can still see the influence of the initial years of Miyanishi-san and the Japanese in our factory. So this company is here today because of these initial set of conditions. The people who just gave their lives along with me. And it's just not me, it's all 20 of us, or 20, and the first 20 workers also who came, the first 40 of us who worked under unbelievably difficult conditions. And the funny thing is, some of the machines that we first made in 2001 and 2 on Nambi, you sold those machines, you know very well. You sold the machines to Tata Chemicals and to Kakatiya Sugar and to RO Energy. Those are still working today. And it's amazing that we made those machines with the most basic technology. We had nothing if you compare to what we have today. It's amazing how those machines are still working today, and that's the foundation, that's really been the foundation of our success. Over the years, as we moved to become a market leader in India, we kept increasing the sizes of our products. We went from 5 megawatt to 10 megawatt, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. And we would get the order, Vinay or me or Nambi would get the order, we'd come back to TDPS and we'll tell Pravamani, now we have a machine, 30 megawatt order, we have to design a machine for 30 megawatt. That's it. And she never said, how are we going to do it or whatever. She said, yes, we'll make it happen. And there was Varna, and there was Ravi Shankar, and there were other people on the factory side who also took the challenge of making these machines. So we grew from nothing into being a market leader in India. And then there was an inflection point, because we were also at that point of time doing a lot of work selling the steam turbine packages. And it's interesting how fate actually, and your destiny, how it moves, in certain ways. We were then competing against the Chinese turbine, selling a Japanese turbine, and we were getting hammered. There was no way which we could survive in the future with selling a Japanese turbine against a Chinese turbine. And I remember driving back to the airport one day in Coimbatore with Vinay, and we had lost a big order to Nambi. And I told Vinay, we have no future. We have no future in the turbine business. And if we don't become a generator company, pure generator company, I don't see a future for us. So we have to completely switch our model. We have to completely reinvent ourselves and just focus on being generators, making generators. But we were at that point of time already having a big market share in India. So the only way for us to do it was to go abroad and to build up a market internationally. And that's what we did, step by step. We started in 2008. We started relationships with Western companies, predominantly German companies. And that's how we started our international journey. Mohib's vision, Mohib told us that he had a vision that to really get the value of TDPS, we have to take the company public. And none of us really understood what he was trying to do and what kind of vision that he had in mind. And that's why I say that he's the financial genius of the company. But he showed us the way on how we could capture the financial value of our engineering and our other human effort. We went public in 2011. And after that, I think we suffered the worst 7 or 8 years of our lives, because everything went wrong after that. Everything that we did, everything that we built our success on was not sufficient to, let's say, deliver what we had promised to the market and what we had promised to our new investors. But from 2012 to 2019, once again, we had to rebuild and reinvent ourselves and completely change the company from being a domestically focused company making only steam turbine generators into making generators for the world with different OEMs, different applications, different types of machines, different prime movers. And along the way, we had a lot of hits and misses. We were successful with a few things. We had many failures along the way, but we just kept plugging on and on and on. But it took an awfully long time. It took almost 7 to 8 years. It was only around 2019 that we really started seeing the turnaround of the company's fortune. We started seeing that all the efforts we were putting in started giving results. And it was really COVID. Funnily enough, it was the pandemic that changed our fortunes completely. When the whole world shut down during COVID, TDPS was one of the few factories that was still open. And Prabhamani, she was the person who, I don't know how she did it, but she was the person who managed to get the government, the bureaucrats, she convinced them. We kept the factory open throughout the entire pandemic. And we delivered every single generator on time through the entire COVID, the entire COVID period. This changed the perception of our company to the entire world, that even in the most difficult condition, in a condition where the rest of the world had shut down, TDPS was still working and delivering machines to all its customers all over the world, keeping every single commitment. I believe that that was a turning point for us, and that was a point of time when we suddenly reached a different level of credibility in the market. And from that point of time, we really haven't looked back. And we've been growing, and we've been growing and growing and growing. So how do I look at the future? I think that this company is comprised of a bunch of us who are now in our mid-50s, who are the founding members. There are just a handful of us left over. And the rest of you are this young, energetic, full of talent, capability, who will run this company after a short time, maybe after a few years. And this company will be in your hands, and I know it's going to be in very safe and capable hands. And I know that this group of people who's sitting here in front of me, you will take this company in the next 25 years to the next level, to the next heights. I don't know where it's going to be, I don't know which direction it's going to go, but I'm very, very sure that you have the capability, and you have the capacity, and you have the full talent and the energy to get it done. So, cheers. I look forward to working with you and guiding you through this journey for the next 25 years. But I'm extremely, extremely happy, and I'm extremely, extremely confident that you will all make it happen. Thank you very much, everybody.